But cultural architects are rare, and you have to know what to look for.
It's difficult to find those people because all the players, they can't do it. You must have some leadership in your body.
The search for cultural architects began on the training ground. Unknowingly, the players were being subjected to psychological scrutiny.
Not more than 5 to 10% of people are cultural architects. So you can see that in one training session and in one match together, you can spot those easily.
And very quickly, one player stood out.
Let me mention just one name, Beckham. He has grown to become a cultural architect. He has today a very great influence on the attitudes of the other players. And he is thinking in the same line as Sven-Göran Eriksson. So it's a very good tool for Sennis on pitch.
Beckham is undoubtedly a cultural architect, but it's a closely guarded secret who the others may be.
Is it Owen, is it Scholes, is it Gerrard, is it Ferdinand? These are the guys who he has said, you are the heart and soul of this team. You are the guys who create the climate in the dressing room. You are the guys who people look to as the leaders.
The time had come to test the mettle of England's cultural architects. It was the crucial away match against Germany. Winning this game was vital if England were to stand any chance of progressing to the finals. On that night in Munich, there could not have been more at stake. If ever fear of failure would creep back in, it would be now.
The interesting thing about the Germany game was that it was not just a football fixture. The history and the culture of the two nations going back so long, both on and off the football field, meant that it was a hugely hyped fixture.
But Eriksson's approach to this vital match was unusual. There were no appeals to patriotism, and no one mentioned the war.
I think the game in itself is very stressful, so they don't need to be stressed before the game.
It wasn't a case of shouting at them and telling them they're going to war and you're wearing 3 lions on your chest, lads, and do it for the folks back home. I think it's actually the opposite. He simply told them that, you know, this was a football match, there's 11 of us and 11 of them, and we are better than them. And they went out feeling that.
To put the player under the pressure for playing for the country is a bad thing, because it's irrelevant to the whole thing, because you're not playing better football because you're thinking of the Queen. You have to think of the match and what you're going to do, and not all other things.
The new approach made an immediate difference. England came onto the pitch focused